Okay, guys, here we are. So we have Tanya as our model, and I know you guys know Tanya. She's always here with me in our videos. She works here at Creative Images. And what we wanted to do today is talk to you a little bit about different types of wigs, wig caps, because we know that it can be intimidating to have to go look for a wig, especially if you haven't ever worn hair before. So today we're going to be trying on wigs, and some of these wigs we already know. Look, guys, we know that the color is not right.
No.
We know that the style may not be right, but the purpose of this video is to just expose you to the different types of wigs that are available and that are out there. And these aren't even all inclusive, but I wanted to give you a starting point because I know that once you receive your diagnosis and once they tell you that you are going to have chemo, once you start your chemo, after you have your first session of chemo, usually between your first and your second session of chemo, you usually start to have your onset. Your onset is actually when you start to shed your hair. When you start to shed the hair, it's not breaking off from the ends, it's truly coming out from the root. But we can look at that as a positive thing. When it's coming out from the root, it's killing the hair follicle, but it's also killing off those cancer cells too.
Right.
Hair follicles reproduce. As soon as one dies, a new one reproduces. So even though we're not looking forward to it, if we can find a beautiful wig that we know will work before we start to lose the hair, then it makes it just a little bit easier. Okay? So let's get started. The first wig that we're going to go with is actually a top piece. Now, I know that if you're losing all of your hair, the top piece may not be an option. But we also want to make sure that we're addressing ladies that may be premature balding with alopecia. It may be, you may only be balding on the top, or you may just have thinning around the edges. So I wanted to kind of give you a well-rounded view of what types of wigs are out there and what are available. Okay? So this particular wig is actually a front piece. And I'm going to cover Tanya's beautiful face because I need to get a little bit closer so that you can see the different features of this piece. As you can see, this is a curly piece. It clips in. Or if you want to get adventurous and keep it in permanently, you can actually sew it in. You can actually remove these clips. And these clips actually clip onto your hair and then they snap. Okay? So just wanted to give you a close-up view of what that looks like. And you can put these on and take them off at night. So if you're a person that doesn't want to sleep in your hair, this is a good option for you. Okay? So, of course, Tanya, you guys know she's so beautiful. But at any rate, what I wanted to do was show you that what you could do is you see that Tanya actually has a short style. This is also good if you want to enhance the style that you already have. So basically what we would do is we would actually place this on Tanya's head, just like so. And as you can see, it's already taken shape before we even clip it in. What we're going to do is we're going to take it and we're just going to clip it in. And of course, this is a lot of hair. Tanya has a little teeny petite head, so we would have to go in and do some adjusting to it. And that's okay. You know, wigs are designed to be adjusted. And I'm a licensed cosmetologist, so whatever we need to do to it, we'll be able to do to it. But as you can see, just putting this on Tanya's head, it just gave her a totally different look. Turn to the side, Tanya. We would blend all of this in because all of this is a little bit, you know, a little bit full around the edges. But as you can see, it has changed her look. And we can actually, you know, Tanya can shake her head, move it back and forth. We can go in and thin it out if it's a little bit too full. But as you can see, this works. Okay, are we ready to move on to the next one?
Yes, let's try something different.
Okay. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm unclasping the clips that we had. Okay. And Tanya's hair is always beautiful anyway. So we don't have to do a whole lot with Tanya's hair. But if we have to do different things to blend in, we'll do that. But that's a top piece.
You need a wig cap for the next one?
Yeah, the next one is actually a 3/4 wig. It's not even a full wig, but it's going to give you more coverage than the top piece. It doesn't clip on. It actually goes on like a traditional wig. It's not, it's going to give you more coverage. So let's say if you're having some thinning, or let's say you're losing hair more than just the top. You're, maybe you're losing maybe the whole top as opposed to just the crown of the head. This is an excellent option for you. Okay, you put it on just like a regular wig, and most of the time when you go into a wig shop, they're going to actually have you put on a wig cap. Now, of course, with this wig, this is a whole lot of hair for Tanya. But, like I said, we would go in and make adjustments. But I just want you to see how much coverage we get with having a 3/4 wig. It almost looks like it's a full wig. But Tanya has a petite head. So since her head is so petite, it's she could probably get away with wearing this wig as a full wig. But at any rate, you can see it's giving her, again, a totally different look. We would have to go in there and, I'm going in and just kind of playing with it because she has a little small petite head and she has a small face. So as you can see, I just went in and kind of played with it just to pull it off of her face. And you see, it just gives it a different look. We can even go in and take some of this weight off the bottom. But if we did that, we would kind of get the look that we had before. So it just depends. Depends on what you're wanting and what you're looking for. Okay? So this is a 3/4. I'm trying to save Tanya as I'm taking this wig off because she was so gracious to be a model for us, guys. So, look, be gentle. Be gentle. Okay. Now, here we are. We have a wig. Now, of course, we know that, I don't know, everybody's getting adventurous. There's a blonde for everyone, but not every blonde is for everyone. Okay?
And they have the most fun.
Yeah, the blondes have the most fun. So they say. But at any rate, this is another top piece. And I do want to stress that they can come in curly. You can go straight. You can do combinations. You can get braided wigs, all kinds of wigs. So this is just a straight wig. It looks more like a relaxed look. And so what we're going to do, again, this one clips in, but we can also sew it in. And I'm going to just show you these clips again, just because with this being a blonde wig, it allows for you to be able to see those clips just a little bit clearer. Okay? All right. So what we would do is we would just lay it on there. I know, Tanya. Blonde and beautiful. Blonde and beautiful. Stay positive, guys. Stay positive, guys. But as you can see, I'm just laying this on here, and we are just clipping it in. Don't everybody talk at the same time. So we are just clipping this in. This gives pretty good coverage too. It's actually coming all the way down
this one is
to the, basically almost to her, basically it's coming down to her occipital bone. That's that little bone that sticks out in the back. So as you can see, as we are kind of shaping this to her face.
This is cute too.
This one is cute. And you see how we're just blending that in there, and you see how we can even make it fuller. If we wanted to take all of this out, you see how as I'm holding it close to her head, it gives it just a different look. Of course, we can go in and cut it. We can shape it, style it, however, whatever we need to do, we can do it, okay? So don't want you to get discouraged when you first try on a wig. Just know that the wig is coming straight out of a box. And so we got to play with it a little bit. But as you can see, this looks cute. And actually, Tanya, this blonde
it's not bad.
Okay, Tanya. All right. So Tanya can wear blonde too, okay? And look, she's doing her hand. Look at the body language, guys. Look at the body language.
Yeah, this one is nice too.
And even if you see as you turn it to the side, you see how we're getting this to blend in. So it's lots of things that we can do. I don't want you to be discouraged. The biggest thing is making your wig selection before time. If you get your wig before time, then it takes away all of that anxiety of, you know, I'm going to lose my hair and now what am I going to do? You can still be yourself, or you can be somebody else if you want to be. Okay, so this is just another look. Actually, we can actually do lots of things with this.
With this one,
yeah, we can even create a pappardelle if we wanted to, just by you know, taking that down. Of course, we would blend all of that in. But
yeah, this one is nice.
This is a cute wig, and of course, we can get different colors. So don't think that just because we're trying on. Okay, Tanya, I'm trying to be careful, Tanya. I'm trying to be careful. So just because we're trying these on, you know, like I said, we're trying on different styles, different colors, and just always know that when you are going into any type of wig facility, and when you come into our facility, we're not set up like a beauty supply type facility. We actually have a salon room within our facility. When you come in, you're by appointment. It's you only. Our staff is focused completely on you, and we are just making sure that this is a positive experience, and we want it to also be a personal experience to you. And we have chosen to do by appointment only. We did it this way always. We didn't just change as a result of COVID. We decided that we were going to do by appointment only because some days, you know, some days we're having bad days, and we didn't want you to have an audience, and we wanted to make sure that we could give you our undivided attention. So the next wig that we're going to try on is your tradition. Well, this one is actually a monotop. Monotop wigs look like this. Okay, it has this meshy material, and then it has this mono material going across the top. This allows for you to be able to use double-sided tape. So if you want to be able to bond your wig down but don't want to glue it down, this will allow you to use a double-sided tape right across the front. Okay, the rest of the wig is a traditional wig cap. Okay. All wigs, it's no particular way to put a wig on. The main thing is getting the wig on. But we do need to be mindful that all wigs, well, I'll take that back. Traditional wigs have these little tabs on the side that have boning. And that boning kind of will bend back and forth. But if you have a lace front, it doesn't have that boning. So, but lace fronts are designed to be bonded down. So, you can get lace fronts that have the band in the back that allows for it. It's called a glueless wig, and it will lay flat to the head. However, this particular one is a monotop. Okay. Now, as we're trying this on, we always want to make sure that when we try on a wig, we want to grab those tabs that we were talking about that are on the side. We want to make sure that they're flipped down. They kind of keep the wig in place, and it keeps the wig, if you have one tab in front of the other, you know that your wig is on crooked. So make sure that those tabs are equal on your temples. You also want to make sure that when you're putting your wig on, you want to have about 4 fingers. Sorry about that, Tony. Putting your eyes out. You want to have about 4 fingers from the eyebrows. And as you can see, this one is down a little far. So it kind of makes the wig look kind of wonky. So what we want to do is we want to position this back. It plays a big role in how the wig looks on your face. And everybody has a different forehead shape. Some people have a little bit wider foreheads. Some people have shorter foreheads. So this is just a guideline. So we're going to start with those 4 fingers, and then we can adjust it back and forth as we need to. Now this one is a little longer. The color, not so much. This is a little light for Tanya's color. You want to have something that's going to give you some dimension, whether you're going dimension with a lighter color, like the blonde. The blonde looked beautiful on Tanya. Or we need to go with something darker. Like the curlier ones we had darker, darker colors in that. Even though the first one we tried on was dark, but it had some highlights in it, that darker color actually gave her some contrast. This one actually, because it is close, it's not rich enough, so it kind of makes her look washed out.
Yeah.
And it kind of ages her, really. Yeah. So whenever you're looking at a wig, always make sure that it's going to give you some definition, whether it's going lighter or whether it's going darker. Make sure that it's going to give you some dimension. And when you're going through treatment, a lot of times treatment will kind of wash you out. So you want to make sure that when you start going through treatment, you might have to change your makeup, your foundation. Of course, when you are losing hair, it's not just the hair on your head. It's hair really everywhere. Some of that stuff is not too bad because you won't have to shave your legs and underarms and other areas. But when you lose hair, you may lose your eyebrows and your eyelashes. Those are usually the last things to go though. But if you happen to start losing your eyebrows and eyelashes, you might want to keep your bangs on the wig a little bit longer to kind of camouflage that. If you're not a bang type of girl, and you like to wear your hair a little bit more off to the side, you can always pencil your eyebrows in. As you can see, Tanya does a beautiful job penciling in eyebrows. And you can go on to, we'll have that down in the description where you can join our group, our community. And we'll have some classes up there, and those eyebrow classes.
I'm going to be doing an eyebrow class.
Tanya's going to be doing the eyebrow classes. So you'll be able to learn how to do that. But at any rate, just wanted to give you that as a FYI. When you are picking your wig, if your eyebrows are starting to get thin, you might want to leave those bangs just a little bit longer so that they can camouflage the fact that you're losing eyebrows. Your eyelashes, you may lose those as well, okay? So the eyelashes... eyelashes are designed to define your eyes. So if you start to lose your eyelashes, your eyelashes are like this. But when you start to lose your eyelashes, if you're losing eyelashes, don't put mascara on skimpy eyelashes because they'll look like that. Okay, so we want to make sure, and of course there are all kinds of tabs, and you can do the magnetic lashes. And we recommend that when you're going through treatment, if you're going to wear lashes, you probably need to go with the magnetic lashes as opposed to the glues, the ones that you put on with glue, because your eyes may become sensitive, and as a result of that, you may have a reaction to the glue. So you want to make sure that you are, trying to be safe with whatever you're doing.
That's right.
Okay? All right. Here is another. You getting itchy, Tanya? Sometimes when you're trying on wigs, they can be a little bit itchy. So you always want to make sure that you're finding some hair that works with your skin as well. If you tend to be very sensitive, they have all kinds of wigs, all kinds of wig caps. So we want to be mindful of that. This particular wig is a traditional wig cap. Okay. It is just the weft underneath. It does have a little bit of a top just to allow for that crown area to lay flat. But this is just a traditional wig cap. Okay. Traditional bob. Hair nice and flowy. And you want to look for wigs that have good quality hair. Okay. And, it's kind of, sometimes it's hit or miss because you can buy the exact same wig, exact same company, exact same color. And sometimes the texture of the hair is different. Okay. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to try this one on. Tanya's trying blonde again. And of course, you remember we were talking about making sure that we had those 4 fingers. And making sure that the wig is on. So you see how this kind of looks asymmetrical? That's because we have this wig on crooked. So we need to turn it, and we need to bring those tabs down on the side and make sure that they're in place. We're going to do that 4 fingers. So this is about 4 fingers. And again, just giving you a totally different look. And this is actually a pretty blonde too. This blonde is pretty. Okay. And guys, don't lock yourself into like human hair or synthetic or it has to be lace, because when you do that, you rule out whole families of wigs. So always be open. You know, whoever your professional is that is trying on your wigs, you know, make sure that you are open to trying on different types. You might find something that surprises you. Okay? All right.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
Yeah, that was a good color.
Okay.
All right. Now, this one actually is a lace front wig. As you can see, it has the lace just on the front area. And I don't know, I'm sure you can see that. Sorry, Tanya. I'm sure you can see this area. Tanya's looking too. Tanya's learning too, guys. So this is actually a lace front. On the inside of the cap, everything else is pretty much your traditional wig cap. It has the weft on the bottom. And this lace actually goes into the part so that it looks natural. Okay. But once you get your wig, this would be trimmed back to kind of mimic your hairline or to mimic a hairline. Because sometimes you want to change your hairline. Okay. So when we try this on, you'll be able to see this lace. But just know that when you make your selection, that lace would be trimmed back. Okay. All right. All right, Tanya, you ready? Okay. And you remember I told you you'd be able to see that lace, but that lace wouldn't be there. Okay. Yeah. The tabs are on this particular one. And it's on this one because the lace is just on the front. Okay. And as you can see, even with having that lace in place, you see how it's kind of blending into Tanya's face. You can get lace in different colors as well, but because this particular wig, the lace, this is the lace that matches this color of hair. Okay. But even then, you can still get different hair colors. And as you can see, this is a very beautiful wig. It has a nice more of a curly wave. You can definitely change the look of this wig by making it fuller. You can comb it out. You can comb it out and make it a little bit fuller. Sometimes people will fudge it. If you like a middle part. When you have a curly wig, sometimes you can play around with it. And you see how I've just switched that? Because once this lace is cut back, you really won't be able to tell. And sometimes you can make it a middle part, even though it is a side part wig. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
So, all right. And I would probably pull that back just a little bit because that was down a little bit too far.
Can you put the part on that side as well?
You probably could, but you got to be careful once you start getting this tab too far in the front because it'll be noticeable. Okay. But as you can see, you notice that I was able to do it, but you would probably have to pull this hair
out your face a little bit.
You would have to pull it down to make sure that you cover up that tab.
Okay.
But what my recommendation would be is when you are wanting to have that side part, find a lace that gives you the flexibility to flip it back and forth. All right.
But it still looks nice though.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah, I like that.
And it does look cute with the part on the
I like
side.
that too.
Okay. All right. You ready? Tanya's making it easy for me, guys. It's easy when you have a beautiful model.
I try.
Okay. All right. Now this one is a full lace. Okay. The difference between a lace front and a full lace wig is that the whole inside of the cap is lace. You see how, even though it looks like a traditional wig cap, you see how I can pull it and you see how it has the whole thing is lace? So this is a very comfortable wig. It still has that lace front to give you that invisible hairline. You can get wigs with, little baby hairs in the front if you prefer that. If you don't like that, that's okay. You can always blend them in or cut them off even if you want to. Okay. All wigs can be adjusted. So they all come with like little hooks like this. It might not be this exact hooking system, but most of them will have some type of a hook or either like a bra strap pull. All right. So when we put it on, we're just going to lay it flat. And we're just going to adjust it on. And as you can see, the lace on this one is a little bit lighter.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to make sure that that we have, sorry, Tanya, I'm scratching.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So as you can see, this one is definitely a center part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And, you know, just a nice wave. It's not really a curl on this one. It's just a wave.
Body wave,
Okay.
yeah.
You're going to pretty much be locked into this middle part on this one because it doesn't give you that option to be able to flip it back and forth. You know, so this is a complete lace. Now you can get complete laces with side parts and where you can wear the hair completely off the face if you want. But that's the beauty of a lace front, is that it gives you that option to be able to pull it back off of your face so that if you wanted to pin it up, you could do that, whatever you want to do, okay? Okay. Alrighty, let's see. All right, now this one is a knit top. A knit cap, I'm sorry, knit top. The top is knit as well though. But a knit cap is for the severely sensitive scalp person, or if you have really sensitive skin. It is very soft to the touch. You know, the different caps can also affect the price of the wig as well. So you always want to make sure that you keep that in mind when you're locking yourself into a wig cap. That helps to affect the cost of the wig. Keep in mind that your laces, the ones that have that that invisible hairline, those are going to drive up your price. When you start looking at wigs that have the highlights and the lowlights and all of that, those affect the price of your wig. Also, the caps, like I said, affects the price of your wig. Okay. This particular wig we're going to try on. Now, this is a red. You know, we can go from one extreme to the other. But as you can see, this is one of those wigs. It lays nice. It blows in the wind. Tanya is already. We need to give her a little bit more forehead.
Just a little bit.
Okay. But as you can see, this wig looks, you know, very natural. It flows. And, you know, again, just a whole nother look. We can turn it to the other side as well. Tanya is a right side part girl. And so as you can see, even combing it to the opposite side, it gives it a different look.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
A whole different look. This red not too bad either.
It's not too bad. It would be even prettier if we had like some auburn mixed in with it, or even a darker brown.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you can see, we can do a lot with this wig. Okay. And all of the wigs we can do a lot with. We just have to play around with it. You know, we can always go in and reshape them. And of course, you know, the purpose of the wig is to have fun with it. And I don't want you to be scared about this journey. We just want you to know that there are so many options. Okay? So, this is Wig Caps, and we will be coming and talking to you more about different things as it pertains to breast cancer and the breast cancer journey. Okay? See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.